weird. Uh-oh.
Okay.
I
told you,
tell
like, the worst one I did was something that wasn't too far away. I was in Ohio. For a guy that apparently was supposed to die within like a year. It was like, we knew him through friends of friends, and it was like a last wish, dying wish, he wanted to do a movie. Okay, whatever. And the first couple of girls that were supposed to be in this, which should have told me something, dropped out. And I was like, it was pretty early on. It was years ago, so it wasn't like,
Just blood to madam.
Yeah. So I saw the script and I was like, wow, this is really freaking horrible. I mean, some of the things I have to say in this are just disgusting. But, it's a last dying wish. So, he's like, okay, well, I'll pay for the gas and, we'll put you up at so-and-so or so-and-so hotel. And okay, well, whatever. And we get up there and he's like, yeah, I don't got the gas money and, I don't have money for a hotel. And
I'm not dying.
yeah, he was, but it was like, we get there, everybody else is local, everybody else is right there. We drive up. He wasn't there yet because of whatever medical thing, which, that's fine. That's great. We did the scenes, and it was horrible. And whatever. Okay.
Come on, do your favorite line from that.
My line was, it's not that horrible, but it's horrible if you know what I'm talking about.
Kids, cover your mom's ears.
Yeah, it's, thank God I met you because my vibrator was starting to wear out. And this is the line. And this was one of my, trainer lines. And I was like, okay.
Oh, man.
Wow. And, the guy's friends were going down to the corner to get crackers because they didn't buy any food. Somebody else brought pizza. It was that. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So go home, come back, shut the sex scene where at first, because I was like the fourth or fifth person he asked to do this role, he's like, yeah, it's complete nudity. I'm like, no. Okay, it's topless. No. Okay, you're in the, no. Listen, I'm gonna show up in parka. If you want me in it, you'll deal with it. I said I'd get a camisole or something. That's fine. Okay, that's great. We shoot the scene. He wanted it so ridiculously, not graphic as in like X-graphic, but just like really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it's me and this guy that I kind of knew, and he was like, okay, listen, you get out of the shot, I'll be on top of pillows, and then every once in a while we can just shoot your face under mine. And the guy that I had to do the scene with felt worse than I did about it, so it was like, okay. And it was this other guy, the director, and his friend that were shooting. All of a sudden they started shooting behind the scenes stuff, and all of a sudden they needed behind the scenes, but no, you're not shooting behind the scenes. Let's get out of here. So they come in, we shoot this, and I'm like, okay, it's done. We go home, and it was right around the time, like I had broken my ankle right around this time too. I didn't even tell you that. I'd broken my ankle. He emails me and says, we need you to come up again, and I want to reshoot that sex scene, but I want your husband and this guy's wife not to be in the house because I think they made you a little uncomfortable. I'm like, oh yeah, they know. And finally at that point I was like, I don't care. No, I'm not coming up. You deal with it. If you want to recast, I don't care. I'm not redoing this crap.
Wow.
And the guy's still alive, so this was like a long time ago. And apparently the movie is out. He did recast it, and
No, he never shot it.
no, he recast it. And
Yeah, but they didn't shoot anything. They flew all those folks to Florida or someplace weird.
Yeah, and because they sent me money, but it wasn't my full deposit, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm not
Wait,
getting
I
on
don't
the
think
plane.
you're talking about the same thing.
I was talking about Blood to Madam.
No.
No.
That guy was dying too.
No, that's
There's a
another
lot
one.
of dying
That's another one. No,
producers.
because that guy contacted me after this other guy, and I had already decided no more Make-A-Wish movies. Yeah, no, this was the worst. And I was like, I went home, and I was like, no, that's it. I'm not doing any more favors and nothing. So I've known the person for 20 years. That's it. And I, get paid up front.
Yes.
And you
At
know
least
their
gas
name, and
money.
they make movies.
At
and
least
stuff.
freaking gas.
Yeah.
You definitely learn things while you're on set, what
Yeah.
to do and what not to do. And
Well, and you feel bad for some of these people because literally, I was told his dying wish is to make a movie,
Aw.
and he'll be dead within a year. Well, hey, that's really sad. Let's go do that.
Gotta make it quick.
That's my attitude
Now,
now.
money first. Yeah,
Yeah.
give me the money first in case something
Yes,
happens.
Mayor, just
that's
pick
honestly
one.
what I learned from Tom Savini. He told me once, I know it's stupid, but he told me once, listen, you don't pen in. You can pencil things in, but don't ever actually start promoting something until you get at least the flight or half of the money up
Yes.
front.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
people do screw you. I mean, you went through it. I remember that Fright Vision convention.
I can't even remember
Oh,
what happened.
I remember that one. Where he you pay for your own flight, you and Brink, or
And then he was arrested
And then
before he
was
could pay
arrested.
you.
Oh, he skipped
yeah,
out on the hotel.
I lucked out, I
Oh,
didn't
you
have to
didn't?
pay my
Okay.
flight, but I warned everybody.
Yeah.
But he didn't give me per diem and stuff.
He didn't pay for half the people. I'll give it to you when you
And
get
I was
there.
left in an airport for 3 hours and missed all of Friday.
Don't you guys all
She
want to be
spun
involved
around
in
that
this
carousel
business?
all
I mean,
day
really.
Yeah.
Well, that leaves you, Linnea, with
Yes, let's-
your
Okay, God, I gotta
set
top
straight.
all this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
one.
Okay,
Just
when
one.
I first started out, I was naive. I'm still pretty naive, but I was really naive, and
It was 5 years
it
ago.
was 5 years ago. Right. Now this director asked me to do is like one of these artsy shorts, and where I'm like on a checkerboard running around and things. And then the next one was I was in a helicopter. I mean, way up there in Angeles Crest. And there's no doors on the helicopter. You feel like you're gonna fall out. And the helicopter driver is almost hitting the power wires, and I'm freaking out. And the next shot, they go into the private section of Burbank Airport, and they land, and they want me naked running. This is where the president and all these important people land. Running naked with a AK-47 across the.
Oh my God.
Now I would have been shot
Best
and
terror-
killed so
terrorist
Oh,
fast.
you
attack
didn't
ever.
have like permits or anything?
They didn't have permits.
Linnea wins, I'm sorry.
And I was so, the one thing kicked in was survival mode, and I didn't do that.
Oh,
I mean, because I okay, I'll do that, but I thought, no, there's something really wrong about this. And running naked in this zone would just, I can see him, I'd just be like dead. They probably wanted that.
Al
And I had to
Qaeda,
chase the
take
guy
note.
for my check.
Naked with an AK-47?
Not, yeah, I should
That was
have
before
missed
Al
it.
Qaeda was invented.
Oh, they've been around for years.
Yeah. So anyhow,
Wow. That was, thank you.
further audience questions?
Positive stuff.
So yes, best moment on a set. We'll reverse that. Like, what's the best moment that you've ever had?
And tell about the time you had to run naked with an AK-47.
Yeah, there was one time I was in a helicopter and then they landed and I got to run naked with an AK.
Oh my God, you know the guy.
Some
Checkerboard
chick
job.
refused to do it and I got to do it.
Oh God.
Best moment on set. I don't know, but I remember being really, really super excited about getting to work with Brad Dourif on The Hazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
and
then
he's cute.
knowing that I get to kill him and then become him. And so I remember he wanted to do this English accent. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, dude. Like, seriously? I got to become you. And he's like, don't worry. We'll rehearse. And he came to my house every day and taught me an English accent. And not in a
Wow.
creepy weirdo way, like I want to come to your house and rehearse. Like, straight up come to my house and rehearse with Brad Dourif. And I was
He's
like,
the cute guy, right?
what's that?
The cute guy.
Brad Dourif?
Oh, I know you.
But he's really cute.
He's
Brad Dourif.
cute.
He's
He's
cute.
really talented.
One Flew Over Cuckoo's
Yeah.
Nest.
Yeah.
and
He was on
Chucky.
Lost, and that's like the
Someone
only
else.
reason we started watching it again, is because
He was on Lost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that was Andrew.
He was on Deadwood.
That was
Oh,
Andrew
and they-
Divoff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So much.
Jesus, I'm thinking Andrew Divoff.
No, yeah, not even Deadwood.
Brad Dourif.
Oh. So anyway, Brad Dourif. You guys know Brad
Yes,
Dourif
I know
is.
now.
He's brilliant. No,
Yes.
he's
Yeah,
made
it's pretty
a
dope.
comeback.
So and that was
Crazy.
kind of a pretty awesome experience, was to be able to work with him. And like I said, being a fan growing up of the genre, I was like, no way, he's in my fucking house.
That's funny about rehearsing scenes. In Savage Streets, one of the guys wanted to rehearse my coma scene with me, and I'm like, well, I think it's going to be more realistic if you just see me there in bandages and in a coma. He's like, yeah, you're right. Jesus I know.
Wow. I'm sorry, I was not the
Your hardest moment on a set besides, I'm gonna kill all of you.
Mine would be meeting my boyfriend on my very first film, Pajama Party Massacre.
Wow.
At the time, it was my very first film, I was very, I didn't know anything about it, and I was, I'm big into the horror genre, I love it, and I was like, I really want to do a movie, and I got hooked up with NFTS, and Joe wrote the film, Pajama Party Massacre. And we became good friends after that, and, lo and behold, 2 years later, we became a couple.
Oh wow.
It's really, it's really cute.
How long have you been together now?
2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
We're
a
going
good
strong.
story.
Well,
Yeah, I'm thinking. Actually, when you were saying Brad Dourif, and I was thinking Andrew Divoff, one of the best times I was ever on a set, and it wasn't even my movie, but it's a funny story, is that Andrew Divoff, and I'm thinking of the right one this time.
yes.
We were doing a set visit on the set of The Rage that he did in Ohio, which isn't that far from where we live. And we're sitting there talking with Andrew Divoff for a while, and he's really nice and really personable, and he's telling us all these stories, and then he's telling us about the story where he's in the middle of this town in Crestline, Ohio. If anybody's familiar, it's like in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. And he was bored. He was off for a couple of days, so he decided to travel around with this one guy who was like a satellite dish network.
He was a dish network installation.
Installer. So he's traveling around with this guy in the truck. And all I could think is, could you imagine being in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, being a huge horror fan, and all of a sudden the Wishmaster comes to your door to install your satellite dish?
That's so weird.
It's just
Yes.
awesome. So
That's
yeah, that was a great
weird.
moment. Listening to him talk.
Oh my God.
Now, as far as mine though,
Yeah.
would be probably on the last shoot where it was like the first time that I've ever done just acting on one of our movies instead of doing like acting and everything else, where it was a really long day, everything changed, and it was like such into the character that it was almost taken over, which sounds stupid, but you know what I mean? Like you're just thinking of how your character would react instead of actually thinking about how your character reacts. You're just reacting. And we're in this scene that was supposed to be a fight scene, and then the fight scene got scrapped because of the rain and the mud and everything, and we were afraid that if we tried the choreographed scene, we were going to hurt each other because we were like sticking in the mud. There was so much mud. But it was just such an intense scene that I almost punched Debbie Rochon.
Oh God, that sounds intense.
But she's like grabbing onto me, and in the scene she was supposed to grab me, but she kept just grabbing me, and I just kept like flicking her off, and she kept grabbing me, and she like clenched her hand, and that was not scripted at all, and I like clenched mine, and we're both ready to go at it, and then we were just like looking at each other, and I think we both realized in the back of our heads somewhere, I don't know where, that maybe we shouldn't punch each other for real because that might not work very well for the scene.
Especially if you have to do a few takes.
Yeah,
Oh.
but it was great. It was like the first time that I've ever felt just be able to like let go and not worry about anything where the camera was. We didn't worry about any of that. We just went and just like we're just grabbing at each other and
In the
almost
moment.
punched each other. Yeah. So yeah, punching Debbie Rochon almost was probably my favorite moment.
Oh my God.
You might want to rephrase that since I can't.
No.
sound
Almost
like a
punching
good
Debbie
moment.
Rochon was my
Acting.
And we did such a, actually, we did rehearse such a good, like, fake punch. And this was kind of cool, too, that we just rehearsed it so much and we had it down so well that I was probably about 10 feet away from her for the fake punch, and she reacted so perfectly
Wow.
that the guy behind the camera actually jumped because he thought I had it.
That's cool.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, we all thought you laid her out,
Grazie.
actually. Yeah.
Grazie.
Oh my.
Favorite
I
moment?
can't even think of anything because not everything's been great. Puppies and kittens and all.
Dancing naked on a tombstone.
But yeah, dancing naked on a tombstone was a high. I mean, I got high from the sulfur and everything that was coming up. I was really high from that. But it was also fun, and it was so different. And also putting the lipstick through my breast was a lot of fun too because it was so out of the ordinary. And it's a great place to keep lipstick. So.
Molly won't bring long.
I just had a lot of fun, really high moments when you do good, when you get the audition, it's the best feeling when you nail something and you're going to work on it and you're working on it and you're done with it, and then you get sad and the whole cycle starts again. So it's just fun. And, but being inducted to the Horror Hall of Fame was great too. Just a lot of things I've enjoyed.